Hello, Hainted Loves. Welcome to Homespun Haints. I'm Becky.
And I'm Diana.
Oh my goodness, you're
Surprise!
Here! Do that! Wow.
Here I am. It's a magical time of year, Becky. That's all it is.
It's the most wonderful time of year.
It certainly is. It's when we get to look back on everything we learned on this season of Homespun Haints.
What did we learn from our amazing guests?
Well, I feel like I learned more than you, probably, because you're from Appalachia, so hopefully you would know some of this stuff already.
You know, you don't know what you don't know.
That's true. Maybe a smaller category would be, what did you learn that you didn't know?
What did Becky learn
Because
that she didn't know?
I thought you knew everything. Let's put it that way.
I thought so too.
She's read every book, so.
Pretty much, especially if it has to do with Appalachian lore.
Exactly.
But there are some things that just aren't captured in the books.
Is it foraging for mushrooms?
Oh, yes, that's a great place to start. We spoke with Whitney, the Appalachian forager. And for those of you that are now following Whitney on TikTok and Instagram and all that, you're welcome. She's amazing.
We've had some awesome guests that have their own media that they produce too. And so it's been a year of connections.
In fact, I'm wearing my Scott County Jail shirt because this historic Scott County Jail, run by our friends Dr. Christy Sumner and Miranda Young, up in Huntsville, Tennessee, if you've never heard of it. It's because most people haven't. Yeah. Population 1,200.
1,200.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say 12.
No, well, no, that would be the other place we went in Rugby. But yes, population 1,200. It's a historic jail, and we had a chance to do an investigation there.
And it was weird.
It was creepy.
So we had a bunch of ghost hunting tools, right? We're not ghost hunters at all. So all of our ghost hunting skills are basically whatever somebody hands us and says, here, do this thing.
Or what we've learned from our guests.
Well,
yeah,
that
too. But like,
I'm still just taking instructions.
I just play a ghost hunter on TV.
Exactly. So we don't really know the ins and outs of all this ghost activity stuff. So every time we go on a ghost hunt, somebody gives us a new tool. Like, hey, this is a thing that does a thing and it's here. And for some reason, the investigation of this jail, all of our tools were basically doing nothing at all except this one new tool that we learned about, which was the rope lights. The string of lights that activate when an electromagnetic field is disturbed around them, almost like a string of Christmas lights. There's some kind of power interrupter between them so that they don't influence each other.
So unlike Christmas lights.
And then therefore when a entity that is maybe not visible runs past them, you'll see them lighting up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 like that. And we did see that. It was 2 a.m, so I might have been a little delirious.
No. I was there too. Yeah. Chris set those lights out when we were in the historic town of Rugby, which is right next to the Huntsville where the jail is. Yeah. And she put these out in a place where there's known to be a little girl, a museum. And she would say, hey, can you run here for us? And the lights would go, do.
And she put the obelisk right behind me. I'm at the end of the row.
So we're all the K2 meter or the obelisk?
The obelisk.
Okay. So
yeah, she put the obelisk right by my shoulder while we were in the schoolhouse talking to this ghost girl.
Schoolhouse is now a museum.
She's telling the ghost, okay, if you can, run up and down the hallway. And the lights would go brrrt, brrrt. Not at random.
No. That was the scary part.
When she asked.
Only when she asked.
So I'm at the end of the row, the obelisk behind me, and Dr. Chris is lecturing about the various entities that people have cited there, and obelisk just starts right behind me.
Wow. What was it saying?
That's kind of what an obelisk sounds like. It's more annoying than that, actually.
Well, an obelisk is the thing that like spits out words. A K2 meter is the thing that goes.
The one that you put your hand next to, and it's shaped like that. It's got a big antenna, and you put your hand next to it, and it sounds like droids.
I thought that was you know what? Somebody let us know.
Because it's probably a K2 meter.
We're not ghost hunters.
Exactly.
So just tell us. That's all right. You guys love to correct us. I've read your comments. Were you actually scared when that happened? When you saw the ghost running up and down?
Not when I saw it running, but when it started beeping behind me, yes, I was a little frightened.
When they're behind you.
When there's something right behind you, it doesn't matter whether it's paranormal or not.
Right.
It makes you uneasy. That was the most, creepy ghost evidence that I've ever experienced. It was even creepier falling asleep in the house in Virginia. That was the first time I've spent the night in a haunted B&B.
Not for me.
Well, no. I've spent the night in many haunted B&Bs, but I've never been scared to fall asleep before. Much like you. when you see the ghost and you're like, stop bothering me, I'm sleeping.
Yeah, try to sleep. Yeah.
Can you haunt me tomorrow?
This is a house that we learned about in one of our episodes when we interviewed Rhonda. She owns the Nickerson Sneed House, which is just outside of Abingdon, Virginia, which I got to take Diana to.
And there was very little sleep to be had.
It doesn't help that it was a dark and stormy night.
It doesn't help that there are interior, exterior windows. I know. That was the number one thing that creeped me out. Of course, I chose the bedroom with the interior, exterior windows.
Speaking of it, the Nickerson Sneed House, I don't know if I shared this. So the house had been part of a Revolutionary War fort, French and Indian War fort, and then it had become converted into a house, and then it became a hospital and a morgue during the Civil War, and we stayed there. And we were there all by ourselves.
50 feet from the Econo Lodge behind it.
Well, but the Econo Lodge people will see, like the people who work there will sometimes contact the owners and be like, someone's in your house.
But no, it hadn't opened yet at the time that we were there, so nope, there was nobody there.
But that morning when we were waking up, I like to sleep in. And I was also driving, so I was really tired. I got an excuse. Everybody's up except me. I'm still in bed. And I was in this tiny little twin bed shoved up against these closet doors. Mm-hmm. While I'm lying there, like, kind of like, oh, I should get out of bed. I'm awake, but I'm like, oh, I should get out of bed. And next to me, from inside the closet, I heard,
that's really scary.
And I just yelled, all right, I'm getting up.
See? Becky doesn't fuck with ghosts while she's sleeping.
Oh, no, nobody fucks with my sleep. Right. And it's a shame because these things always happen at night, and that's what I want
always.
to sleep. I know,
like always. You need to become a nocturnal animal.
Fucking haunt me at 1 p.m. And we heard from Rhonda later too that they had the turn the house into a haunted house once.
Haunted house attraction.
Within
a haunted house.
Right. And there was an actor hiding in that same very closet that I had heard the knocking from, and he heard a little girl giggling beside him. In the closet where I heard the knock.
Yep.
So I was like, I guess I'm getting out of bed now. No one's going to be able to sleep through a ghost racket. But, I mean, again, it was like 9 a.m. Like, again, 1 p.m. That's when the haunting should be.
So there were like 8 rooms there, right?
Yeah, we could have all had our own room and really been scared.
We could have slept in the basement and really been scared. The basement morgue.
Civil War morgue, yeah. We went down there briefly.
With the creaky wooden spiral staircase.
And very low ceilings, dirt floor.
Super creepy washer and dryer.
As we learned from our guest Nixie, who is a tour guide in the very haunted island of Key West, it is the best place to store bodies because it keeps them cool.
Especially in Florida.
Right? And here
in the South.
In Georgia.
Virginia's pretty warm.
Yeah. And so maybe if you live in an old house, it's possible your basement was a morgue too.
Maybe if you live in an old house, you could keep bodies in the basement should you have any on hand. Oh, sorry.
Don't talk about that.
What?
Okay. So anyway, we learned about the Nickerson Sneed House. We learned that we can get scared. This is one time in our lives. We never get
Something
scared.
scared us.
Something actually scared us. Yeah, because like everyone's like, "Oh, you guys not scared?" We're like, "Whatever, ghosts, demons."
There's so many all around.
Yeah, exactly. But that place, that was extra creepy. Something that we learned. I was so excited to learn this. The difference between 2 types of Appalachian magic, if you will. That of the granny woman, or granny witch. She is the cunning woman in your village. She's the one that knows her herbs and will come and heal you. But she might throw a Bible verse into it too, because she's also a good Christian woman.
Yes, and not a witch.
Not a witch.
Absolutely
no.
not.
Somebody say call themselves granny witches, but not a witch. Not a witch. But which kind of witch is a witch in Appalachian witchcraft? The traditional Appalachian witchcraft
that comes from various
cultures,
settlers and native tribes, and all the cultures kind of stewing together.
You got
the stew we have.
There's traditional witchcraft, which is it's a mishmash of all the cultures that come there and have lived there, because a lot of different cultures came into the Appalachians, but then they didn't leave, because once you made it there, once you made it over that ridge and you made it into that valley, well, it's kind of hard to get out. You know, it's like when you
Sucks you in like a toilet bowl, huh?
right, yeah, like when you trap mosquitoes in a wine glass. You know,
Ooh.
yeah, it's just like that. That's just what happened to everybody there. So we have African traditions, we have Cherokee traditions, we have Scottish traditions, Irish traditions, English traditions, German traditions, and they all come this like beautiful embryo, I guess, new species of witchcraft. Nice. And we talked to some people who practiced it, and oh my God.
What inciting factor or time period do you think converted these from just a random bunch of superstitions to an actual practice of witchcraft?
I think it's just like language. It just evolves slowly. Okay. There's no missing link. It just happened.
And do you think that Appalachian witches who will admit that they're witches are just a modern thing? Or has this been practiced as long as granny witches, but they've been separate?
That's a really good question. I think
apparently we have more to learn.
We have more to learn, yes.
Not done with you yet, Appalachia.
Mm-hmm. Another part of both traditions is making do with what you got.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and it really...
Foraging, again, all the way back around.
Yes, and that is so Appalachia. And I knew that, but I really got to explore that concept. Because when you're poor as shit, somebody comes to you with smallpox, and all you got is some sheep dung and tree bark. Then I went to Mystic South here in Atlanta and met a lot of other cool people. Met a lot of people that we've had on the show.
Exactly.
Such as Deborah Burris, who taught us a lot about weather magic.
And really kind of convinced me.
Yeah, did you know you could cut a storm with a knife?
Or gather a group of powerful women to reverse a tornado?
Yeah, exactly.
Simply through the force of walking in a circle?
Yeah.
And yet it seems to work.
I mean, she has a PhD in astrophysics, so I do trust her
on
this stuff. Yeah. So she was a really, really cool person to talk to. And then while I was at that conference, we met the wonderful Stacey Williams-Ong, who is the creator of the Southern Gothic Oracle.
We learned about how to not flub communicating with ancestors who aren't European and don't know anything about tarot. Your Appalachian ancestors who are going, what's this now? I don't know anything, man. You know, you got to give grandma a little hint. Cornbread? You know that one, right?
And that actually inspired me to learn how to read playing cards.
Ah, okay.
Instead of tarot. So that's been a little
something
personal.
Most people are familiar with.
And that's a journey that I've been on. And it started when my husband and I were in Miami. I don't know if you guys remember that the internet went down in July and all the planes went down. So we were stuck in Miami until we finally just rented the last car in Miami and drove home. Everybody's like sending me these notes like, oh, you poor thing, I'm so sorry.
I hope you're okay.
Yeah, I was like, I'm in Miami.
Sunning your buns on the beach. I hope you're fine.
Well, no, I just went and saw more art exhibits because I'm a nerd like that. Yeah. But I really missed being able to read. Like I wanted to like read when the plane was going to take off.
Mm-hmm. Not on the beach though. No, these buns are pale as driven snow.
I did it at night. I did it at night because there was a full moon. Full moon with these cards and a guidebook and a flashlight and reading glasses. I mean, it was not as romantic as it sounds. And I figured out how to read these cards, and they were like, no, you're not getting out of here. You got to rent a car. So I was like, okay, cool. So it worked.
How timely.
You know, we've had a lot of guests say that their ancestors read playing cards instead of tarot cards.
Right.
And it definitely makes sense because, again, you're working with what you got.
When we were at the Nickerson Sneed house, we actually encountered one entity during our seance who was judging us for having a seance, told us to get out and that we didn't belong there. And then we had another guest,
Stacey,
tell us that the ghosts at her seance were accusing them of witchcraft and telling them that they're never going to make it in the Bible Belt. Yeah. So, you know, as a ghost, can you really be that judgy?
Have you met some of my ancestors?
Change is hard. And then remember back when Cynthia and her daughter Sarah Rose taught us about all of the extremely bizarre paranormal creatures that are haunting their land and the land around their land. Some of these creatures were not even named. Like there's no like, oh yes, that is a blah blah blah. No, it's just they're just creatures.
There were the tree spirits that we talked to. We've talked to people who have communed with nature spirits and fae and stuff like this, but this was I think this is a whole new level.
They're running out in front of the cars, and everybody in the car sees it.
And some doppelganger stuff going on.
Right.
Yeah. Creepy. Yeah. So definitely go check out those episodes. We'll include links to all of these on our website, homespunhaints.com. Both of those ladies were just compelling storytellers.
They were, and they had so many experiences.
This is what happens when you talk to somebody in Appalachia.
True.
We can't leave out our guest from West Virginia, Ashley Stinnett of U.S. Ghost Adventures.
True.
Yeah, and he had something that like tried to kill him in his house. Diana, was this your first time really exploring Appalachia?
When you phrase it that way, yes. I've been to some of these areas before, but I've never actually like set out to explore Appalachian culture.
Do you feel like you understand it better now?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't.
Why? Because it's so weird? Because it's so diverse?
It's so weird.
It is weird.
So weird.
What are you disappointed that you didn't encounter while we were out exploring? Because you had the best tour guide.
It's true.
You had somebody who grew up there, who knew the ins and outs.
Oh man, I had a rough day.
What happened, honey?
I was out with the guys and
And?
they said I wasn't spooky enough.
Oh, honey, how could they say that to you? You're hella spooky.
You think so?
Of course. After all, you came up with the ectoplasm being ghost jizz theory, and you've been scratched by more horny ghosts than anyone else I know.
Well, I suppose you're right.
But if you're really worried about it, I have just the thing.
Oh wow, a spooky AF t-shirt?
That's right. Our Spooky AF line comes in shirt, sweatshirt, pillow, and even a high-quality mug.
Man, those are super awesome, especially for something with profanity on it.
What's even better, all these items were hand-lettered exclusively for Homespun Haints by world-renowned calligrapher Nikki Malik.
Holy ghostly cannoli, that's amazing.
From now on, whenever you brandish your Spooky AF gear, no one will accuse you of being boring.
Yeah, I'm spooky AF.
Visit homespunhaints.com for all Spooky AF merchandise.
I think it's time for us to do a little tarot reading.
Yes.
For everybody to see what's going to come forward in 2025. What do you guys think? Should we do it?
Come with us.
I have this deck, and our patrons know all about it. It's called the Cosmic Cut deck. It's feminist alien empowerment kind of thing. It was designed by Samantha West. Shout out to her if she's watching this. I love your deck.
Weirdest deck we've seen.
That's saying something too.
That's a compliment.
Absolutely. Look at this guy. Let's ask the cards. What's going to happen 2025? I'm going to do this in my lap because I mean, this year's been weird. Outside of this podcast, this year's been weird. Like while we were out hanging out in the hills, there were aliens in the ocean, aliens in the sky.
Government
aliens.
admitting to alien cover-ups.
Weird shit that got declassified, like psi experiments, telepathy experiments the government's running. Diana, you want to cut the deck?
Thoughts and prayers. Okay, here we go.
All right.
That's a big probe.
That's a big old dildo. All right.
What have we learned from this reading, Becky?
Well, this is interesting. I can't tell if it's talking about the country or the world or
Podcast?
the podcast, us, who knows?
You.
So let's start with the past. This is obviously the recent past. Look at the Page of Discs. We've got a lot of money cards today. So the Page of Discs isn't
not
that
surprising.
little alien happy. Yeah. It's saying, you worked hard. You worked hard. You got some financial kickbacks as a result of your hard work.
Is that true?
Mm-hmm. He's got his little pet UFO there, He doesn't have to take American Airlines anymore. He's got his own UFO, okay? Then, present, this is where we're at. Ooh, fancy pantsy. We're at the 9 of Discs, which is interesting. Like in tarot, the page would come after the 9, but this is saying, hey, you've done good. Take some time, sit back, buy yourself something nice. Do it now.
Because
Things are gonna get rocky. Because in the future, yep, that's exactly what you think it is. We got the 7 of probes.
that looks like a fight's a brewing.
Mm-hmm. The 7 of probes means somebody's here to try and take it from you. Everything that you've worked for.
Boo.
Someone's going to come after it. And you need to fight to the death. Oh, wait, I shouldn't say that.
We do talk about dead things. So
Okay.
that's fine.
You need to fight to the ghost.
Fight till you're haunting and then fight some more.
There's gonna be a fight at Bruin, and it's gonna be because somebody wants to take away from you what you have worked for and what you have earned.
This could mean so many things. What does it mean for you?
I know what it
Do
means.
you know what it means for you? Put it in the comments if you know what it means for you. If this resonates, this reading might have been because of you.
I don't like this. I don't like this at all.
I know. What are we gonna do?
Well, here, let's draw some clarifying cards.
Okay.
Okay, you want to draw them?
Shall I cut the deck again?
Yes. Cut the deck and then hand me the top 2 cards. Okay. Well, there's going to be a balancing act, again with money. So we got
Again.
the 2 of
Sheesh.
discs. I would say this means that anticipating that something is coming means put your money and your assets in a way that you can access them. That they can-
Balanced portfolio? Is
balanced
that what the
portfolio?
balance is talking about?
Maybe, but I
Okay.
mean, just
Very
think.
literal.
I do think it means to just be careful. Don't go spending all everything you've earned right now.
Have some liquid funds.
Yeah, because you're gonna need it. This was the card that I pulled initially when I showed you guys what this deck looked like. It's got the 9 of specimens. So this is good. This is good. It means that
What?
Yeah, no. It
Good news after all.
yeah. Well, it means you're gonna have to fight really hard, but everything's gonna be fine. You're gonna come out on top. That's literally what this card says.
Good.
You're going to come out on top. Now, I don't know if you're going to be standing on all of the bodies that you had to,
In your basement.
but you're going to be okay. But it's not going to be easy to get there. So when that starts happening, make sure that you're ready for it.
How?
Diversifying your portfolio.
Oh.
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's up to you. Like, how do you interpret this, Diane?
Work-life balance.
Yes.
Make sure you've lived a good life.
In case you don't make it through, in case the 9 of specimens was for somebody else. If, say, somebody was gunning for you, whatever that could be.
Is that an Appalachian term?
Is it not everywhere?
What does it mean?
Gunning for you?
Mm-hmm.
You don't know?
Like coming to get you?
Yeah.
Gunning for you. Sounds violent.
It's
definitely a Southern term.
Yeah. They're out to get you.
Mm.
Gunning for you. Somebody's gunning for you. I never realized that has the word gun in it.
It does.
Oh.
It was intimidating. That's why I asked.
Okay, maybe Diana's not really from the South after all. So be aware. Now, maybe it means that you've got, that deadbeat uncle that's coming knocking at the door and wants to park his RV in your yard and steal all your jewelry while you're sleeping. Who knows? Maybe it's the government come to take your land with eminent domain.
Well, either way, what do you think this victory is going to look like, Becky?
I think that's when the aliens are going to come and help us.
Oh, thank goodness. Oh, that's what it means.
I think so. I think those of us that commune with the aliens are going to be okay. So we convert this to an alien podcast?
Let us know.
Let us know. Yeah.
Would you prefer we talk about UFOs and Martians?
That would be a fun hole to go down. We're already weird enough. What the hell? Maybe Maybe we could just sprinkle some UFO content into the next season.
I think, it's season 6, right?
Season 7.
Season 6 was finished. Holy crap.
Season 7, yeah.
What? For season 7, I think that's a good rabbit hole. We just got out of the Appalachian rabbit hole.
That ain't a rabbit hole. That was a not deer hole. We crawled out of Appalachia. Now we're going to the sky.
Ooh.
But we're still going to be delivering all of that spooky, ghosty shit to you guys because we love it. We know you love it. Even if you're not sitting around a fire in a holler, burning not deer antlers.
Listening to the sounds of Sasquatch scratching at your windows.
One more thing that I learned that I need to tell everybody about.
Oh.
I learned today from you, Diana. I learned what an Asquatch was.
Oh yeah, the Asquatch. I recently learned this fact as well myself. The
Which-
Asquatch is a very special taxidermy gaff. Y'all know what gaffs are, right? Fiji mermaid, jackalope, stuff like that. Well, apparently there's one that is a little more obscure like most things having to do with buttholes. Because when you shoot a deer and you mount the head, what do you do with the rest? Well, the answer is you make an Asquatch. So it's the other end of the deer with the anus stretched into a large hole full of fangs. And little googly eyes.
Really?
No, probably like professional taxidermy eyes. I don't know. Fake eyes. Any eyes that are on a butt are obviously not real.
So do you mount the Asquatch next to the ass head?
No, that would be too obvious.
Okay.
You give it to the relative that you hate the most for your favorite pagan holiday.
Yeah, okay. So
don't know.
the deadbeat uncle that's coming to steal your jewelry.
Give him an Asquatch.
Give him an
for
Asquatch.
Christmas.
Yeah, he won't bother you. He'll just leave.
You just say, I shot the most amazing buck this year, and it's going on your wall, buddy. Enjoy.
Well, so we did learn a lot. We hope you guys learned a lot.
Thank you for joining us for season 6. It really has been quite a wild ride.
Wild ride on a not deer going over a holler in a tractor with googly eyes on its ass.
I think I learned way too much, and now I'm going to have a spooky day.
Homespun Haints is hosted by Becky Kielimnik and Diana Doty, and produced by Homespun Haints Media LLC. Editing and music by Becky Kielimnik. Show notes by Diana Doty. If you have a ghost story and you'd like to be considered as a guest for this podcast, please visit our website at homespunhaints.com/submit.